Ever questioned whether someone is good or bad? Have you ever been perplexed by someone's words or actions that determined finding out if someone is good or bad can be difficult and multifaceted, especially since these concepts can be subjective and vary greatly depending on cultural, moral, and personal viewpoints? In this video, we'll learn the telltale signs that enable us to determine someone's true nature. Stay with us until the very end as we discuss 9 behaviors that reveal evil. The final activity is the most harmful since it has the potential to harm the integrity of many innocent individuals. By providing use with certain rules that can aid in this evaluation, Stoicism can provide us some ideas on how to distinguish between good and evil. After all, who draws devoted followers and who is avoided, even in a crowd, may be found in non-verbal cues, silent exchanges, and things that are hidden from view. According to Stoicism, evil acts in opposition to reason, whereas good acts in agreement with it. Reason commands us to lead virtuous lives, which include abiding by justice, showing courage, and having eyes. Kindness, like sunlight, has the power to warm and illuminate those around it. It draws people to it like a magnet, drawing those in search of warmth and light closer together. On the other hand, evil, no matter how hard it tries to hide behind the mask of kindness or kindness, cannot last forever. Although it is possible to appear good for a while, eventually it will show its true nature like a mask that comes off. There are certain traits that show someone is more likely to be evil than good. By paying attention to these 9 traits, you can better understand this dynamic and direct your own behavior. Are you prepared to face evil and defend yourself from these people? The number 1 trait of bad people is that they have no regrets. The misbehaving individual constructs walls of excuses and rationalizations rather than bridges of understanding and reconciliation, and they do so even in the face of abundant proof that they are wrong. They refuse to give in. The refusal to accept responsibility for one's actions and to grow from past mistakes is a symptom of something more sinister and possibly dangerous lurking beneath the surface. This refusal to give up can take many different forms. It could be a refusal to accept responsibility for mistakes made, a propensity to distort the truth to support your position, or even the capacity to manipulate events so as to incriminate or place others in a position of guilt. In contrast, true kindness is adaptable and humble, understanding that mistakes are opportunities for personal development. Since sincerely excellent people know that owning up to their mistakes and offering an apology is not a sign of weakness, but rather of strength and maturity, it is crucial to consider how someone handles their own faults when assessing their character. A continuous failure to accept responsibility for your actions, even when they are obviously incorrect, is a warning sign that your seeming kindness might just be a deceptively worn mask. The second type of behavior is exhibited by someone who takes pleasure in witnessing other people suffer. Although this person may present a kind and compassionate front, his actions and reactions reveal that he is not there to support or console those in need. May exhibit apathy, or worse, a quiet grin or sly enjoyment in the face of other people's hardships. The inability to connect emotionally with the suffering of others and, worse, find joy in it is a clear sign of a potentially manipulative and ill-intentioned attitude. This trait can manifest itself in subtle ways, such as through malicious comments disguised as humor or a reluctance to offer help when needed. Such behavior is deeply disturbing and reveals emotional disconnection. This lack of empathy is not only harmful to those around them, but is also indicative of a major internal defect. The third type of behavior is characterized by a lack of consistency in your beliefs and a pattern of frequently shifting your viewpoints and promises. While their comments may seem honest at the time, they soon lose meaning as they change to suit their interests in every given circumstance. This kind of person might agree with you one day and then entirely disagree with you the next day if they think there is a better option available. These people essentially treat relationships and commitments as transactions in which loyalty and honesty are sacrificed for personal gain. Their inconsistent behavior renders them untrustworthy sources of support and confidence. Their constant shifting of opinions and lack of fidelity to their own words reveal a deep egocentrism and a predisposition to manipulate situations for one's own benefit. Though this appearance is ephemeral and rapidly shifts based on their own needs and interests, they may come across as sympathetic and understanding. This pattern of behavior strains connections and undermines trust, making people around them uneasy. The fourth category of bad behavior is someone who constantly complains. This person has a perpetually dissatisfied attitude, seeing flaws in everything and everyone. They excessively concentrate on the bad parts of life without acknowledging or appreciating the positive aspects. Their pessimistic viewpoint can also extend to the daily difficulties of interpersonal relationships and even global events. Rather than seeking solutions or adopting a more sensible strategy, they would rather descend into a negative cycle. Constantly being unhappy betrays a fundamental insatiability where nothing is enough and they are always craving more. This mindset not only makes their surroundings toxic for themselves and everyone around them, but it also hides a lack of gratitude and an incapacity to enjoy life to the fullest. This behavior frequently conceals a conceited, ungrateful mentality that is rarely found to be sincere. Happiness or contentment in the success or well-being of others, your inability to be content, might result in manipulative and self-serving behavior. These people may utilize their grievances as a means of obtaining resources or sympathy from others, seldom making a constructive or beneficial contribution to the well-being of the group. The fifth need is the need for control, which can take many different forms. Firstly, these people may pose as leaders or advisors, providing direction or support, but their true motivation is frequently to manipulate others' circumstances and behavior to further their own agendas or sense of what is morally correct. Secondly, these people may adopt authoritarian behavior, imposing their beliefs and choices on others. Their actions indicate that they think they are superior to everyone else. They frequently disregard the needs, feelings, and opinions of others. They can also be obstinate and callous, demanding that others follow their rules without question. Another facet of their domineering personality is manipulation. They may employ strategies like guilt, subtly persuading, or even emotional blackmail to sway other people's choices and behaviors. Because the manipulation is often so expertly done, victims might not even be aware that they are being influenced. He is one of those individuals who argue that the goals always justify the means. He may appear caring or concerned, but his true motivation is to maintain control over others. This desire for control can also result in invasions of privacy and a disrespect for personal boundaries. The number 6 represents indifference. These people are frequently misinterpreted as kind and compassionate individuals, but in reality they exhibit a worrisome lack of empathy and interest in other people. This indifference takes several subtle but noticeable forms. Firstly, these people frequently dominate conversations by focusing primarily on their own interests, experiences, and problems. This leaves little room for other people to voice their opinions or share their stories. Secondly, when other people speak, these people frequently display blatant disinterest. They may appear distracted, inattentive, or quick to switch the subject to something that appeals to them more. This disregard for other people's needs and feelings is not just impolite, it's a clear dem. The inability or unwillingness to acknowledge and validate the feelings of others is another sign of indifference. Whether confronted with happy or sad people, these people may react with icy indifference, unable to relate to them on an emotional level or provide sincere support. This apathy also applies to circumstances in which helping friends, family, or co-workers in need would be the normal and expected course of action during a crisis. These folks can be surprisingly uncaring and provide scant or no assistance. Coziness or support behavioral person. Number 7 has a habit of lying. These individuals use lies as a tool to manipulate situations and people for their own benefit. They may alter facts, exaggerate, or even make up stories to present themselves in a more favorable light or to gain sympathy and attention. This manipulation can be so subtle that it is initially difficult to distinguish fact from fiction. Another worrying aspect of this tendency to lie is the willingness to use falsehoods to disparage or discredit others. They can spread unfounded rumors, distorting someone's words or actions to harm them or create conflicts between people. This behavior not only creates mistrust and misunderstandings, but can also cause real damage to the reputations and relationships of those involved. Furthermore, the frequent lies of these people are a sign that they do not value honesty and transparency, and that in relationships they are willing to sacrifice the truth to achieve their goals without considering the impact of their actions on others. This demonstrates a strong egocentrism and a deficiency in empathy. These people's capacity to lie convincingly and without regret also shows a lack of morality and ethics. Although they may defend their lies as necessary or innocuous, their deceptive behaviors really undermine human relationships' integrity and trust. The 8th exhibits complete emotional indifference. Individuals who possess this trait usually exhibit a detached demeanor, with minimal or no concern for the issues or feelings of others. These people are more focused on their own needs and interests than those of those around them. They may be insensitive or indifferent to the struggles or suffering of others, focusing only on what is advantageous or convenient for themselves. This emotional coldness is frequently accompanied by a form of selfishness. This attitude can manifest itself in various ways in daily life. For example, in situations where compassion and understanding would be the expected emotional responses. A chilly individual may respond indifferently or even dismissively, downplaying or ignoring other people's difficulties and showing little to no solidarity or support. Furthermore, emotional coldness can also be a deliberate or unconscious strategy used to maintain control or dominance in a relationship. By remaining emotionally detached, these people avoid committing to others or truly getting involved, and it's important to note that this isn't always a sign of evil. In some cases, it can be the result of psychological defenses, past experiences, or even issues related to mental health. Therefore, it's important to assess this behavior in a larger context by considering other traits and behavioral patterns. Speaking negatively about others is the most dangerous and harmful behavior. This propensity frequently presents itself as an honest observation or viewpoint, but it may also be a self-promotion tactic that denigrates others in the EXP defense of others. These people paradoxically attempt to improve their own status or image. They may accomplish this by using criticism or scorn as methods to establish their superiority or superior knowledge. One particularly pernicious feature of this trait is their tendency to speak poorly of others behind their backs. This not only shows a lack of integrity and loyalty, but it also suggests manipulative behavior. If someone is quick to criticize others, they are likely to do the same to others, including yourself. Additionally, this behavior can be a sign of insecurity or low self-esteem. Instead of developing their own identity or positively picturing themselves, these people choose to stand out by making negative remarks about others. This is a harmful pattern of behavior because it breeds mistrust and negativity around the person as well as for those who are the subject of their conversations and words. In other words, bad-mouthing others is a red flag when assessing a person's character because it shows a propensity for manipulating negativity, and although encounters or observations might not fully convey a person's character, keep in mind that understanding a problem makes it simpler to make judgments in life and look for wise solutions about your connections. Furthermore, Stoic philosophy instructs us to be cautious when passing judgment on others, acknowledging that every individual has their own journey and obstacles, and to concentrate on what we can control regarding our own actions and judgments. I hope you found the video entertaining. Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section, hit like, and subscribe to the channel so that we can keep learning and developing as a community.